So if you're in New England, you definitely noticed how cold it was last weekend.
Whipping winds, record wind chill, and deadly conditions atop Mount Washington.
They were getting to like a 9.9 out of 10. This is pretty much as bad as it gets out here. Those temperatures, frostbite will set in less than 1 minute or so.
I find it so neat that Mount Washington in my home state of New Hampshire at only 6,000 feet has some of the coldest, windiest, and most dangerous hiking conditions anywhere. Like, I know there's mountains out west and up in Alaska that are 2-3 times taller than Mount Washington that still don't get the types of conditions that Mount Washington experiences year round. And I think it's so cool that this mountain that's pretty close to where I live, that I have hiked such a handful of times, has all these records when it comes to weather. The most famous record that Mount Washington has set is the strongest wind speed. It was 231 mile per hour winds, and that record was set in 1934, I believe. And I believe it was only beat one time by a place in Australia. And then I believe the record that Mount Washington just set this past weekend is the coldest wind chill ever recorded in the United States. It got to a wind chill of negative 110 degrees Fahrenheit. The wind gusts over the weekend maxed out at 128 miles per hour, and the temperature without the wind gusts was negative 47, which I believe tied or slightly beat Mount Washington's record. So yeah, there were a lot of records set on Mount Washington this past weekend. I think I read somewhere that the temperature on Mount Washington was colder than Mars. Also, the super rare occurrence of the peaks of these mountains being in the stratosphere happened. I wasn't really sure what that meant before this happened, but it seems like it's super rare, and it was pretty insane that happened. So I just wanted to get on here and talk a little bit about Mount Washington and everything that happened this past weekend. It's not that often that records like this are broken, so I just found it really neat and I wanted to talk about it. This all happened last Friday and Saturday, and I actually spent most of Friday outside, so I got to experience the cold. I work outside as a ski instructor, and I had an all-day group lesson, so it was kind of fun skiing, taking breaks, skiing, taking breaks. The temperature where I was had a feels like of maybe negative 30 or 40, so it wasn't like the conditions on top of Mount Washington, but it was still a little chilly. Now, I'm not hiking Mount Washington right now. I'm actually hiking Mount Major in Alton, New Hampshire, and the temperature is in like the mid 30s, so it actually feels pretty warm compared to what it's been like. And it's actually a gorgeous day. The sun's out. There's a view of the lake behind me, and I brought my stove in my backpack, so I kind of want to make some hot chocolate at the summit. I'm not gonna lie and say I didn't think about hiking this past weekend because I had Saturday off from work unexpectedly because of the cold. I thought it would be fun to do something maybe like under 20 minutes just to test my limits and experience the cold and just see how it felt, but I decided against it. It did seem pretty dangerous, especially by myself, so I made the smart decision, and I'm happy I got out on the trails today because it has been a very busy, hectic week. So as you know, something that comes with me on all my hikes, especially in the winter, is Element. So Element is the sponsor of this video, and Element has these little packets. It's an electrolyte drink mix that you just add to water, and it's got the perfect combination of sodium, magnesium, and potassium to help you stay hydrated. I do a lot of hiking, so I take these on all my hikes. I also take these to the ski mountain when I spend all day skiing or ski instructing. Sometimes I just ski all day and I don't take as many breaks as I probably should. So when I do take a water break and have the Element in my water, I can make sure that I'm staying hydrated. That way I don't get fatigued, I don't get the headaches, I don't get the muscle cramps that are really common with dehydration. And the flavors that Element come in are really fun. The one I have in my hand right now is mango chili, so I'm about to add this to my water. If you go to the website and use my special code, which is drinkelement.com/Nahamsha, you can get a free sample pack with 8 different flavors with any purchase. So again, that's drinkelement.com/Nahamsha. You get a free sample pack. Thank you, Element, and back to the hike. This is actually going to be such a gorgeous spot for a cup of hot chocolate. I'm actually really excited about this. I did bring my jet boil just because I think it will boil the water a lot faster than my other stoves and pots, and it's just nicer to drink out of, especially when you're freezing. It did get a lot colder at the summit just because of the wind and the fact that it's all open up here. There is this little, I don't know, cave thing that kind of blocks the wind, so that's really helpful. Unfortunately, I was having some issues keeping the flame going on my jet boil. The wind kept blowing it out after just a couple seconds. I tried for a while to keep relighting it and keep it going. I even moved the jet boil to the corner of this little structure to help block the wind, but that wasn't helping as much. Also, the igniter on my jet boil wasn't lighting it, and my mini Bic lighter was basically out, so I was having a lot of trouble. I did try for a while until I decided to just kind of give up and hike down because it was getting cold and I was getting a little bit impatient. But I did give it my all, and I'm glad I tried. I am back at the car. That was 2.88 miles. I'm thinking maybe I can try the hot chocolate again right now. That way I can enjoy it on my drive to work. Alright, that's gonna do it for today's hike. It was really nice getting the chance to go outside today. Hopefully I can do a couple more winter hikes before my big thru hike coming up. Yeah, stay tuned for my next adventure, and I'll see you then. Bye.